Good morning, evening, whenever you get this. Things aren't loading, so I definitely need a new phone. How and when, I don't know. But you just have to bear with me like you always do. Usually when Spirit make it harder for us, there's a good reason. They don't want you to know certain things because it'll colour your judgment. So just hang in there. There's a reason for everything. We'll try and keep it under 30 minutes because that seems to be the cut-off point. So if I speak a little bit faster, I'm sorry. It's because time scale and getting it loaded. And I know my accent's strong for some people and don't understand it, so I'm doing my best, as always. That's all we can do is do our best. So today's card is the Magician. I believe it was in yesterday's read or the day before anyway. So let's see what they've got in store for us. The name Doris, obviously because it's my mum's card. Number 1 or 28, massively important. So if you live at or are born on the 1st or the 28th, it could be very important. It could be door numbers, buses, table numbers, whatever, I don't know. For you, but it is about trying to manifest your own reality, and you can only do that by staying positive. It's also about new people entering your lives. It's about twins, it's about siblings, it's Gemini, hands, arms, shoulders. So here we go. You ready? Ready or not, here I come. The song is Frankie. Usually that song given to me by Spirit is about sisters, so siblings comes into it. And it's high school, and somebody you had a crush on in high school who maybe didn't turn out to be all you expected. Maybe he was the most important lad at school and ended up being a janitor. I think that's what happens in the video anyway. But everybody swooned over him when there was kids. Both the Gemini cards are in there, both of them are positive, and I've been worried about you, Chris, since I've finally got your message. But I'm not so worried now because it's all going to be okay. We've got it. We've got 3 blessings. Teachers, schools, children, siblings, nostalgia, stuff like that, looking back on the past. But there is a narcissist at work. So there's always got to be one blot on the copybook, isn't there? It's in the 3rd pile. So let's see what they've got for us. But it's looking good, Chris. You still haven't told me if you want your birthday read or not, so let me know. There's the narcissist, and it could be a child, could be a water sign energy, could be an immature person of any sign, somebody who's not in charge of the emotions, and a bond that cannot be broken. So this is maybe somebody that you can't really leave behind. 2 months. Then we're blessed 3 times. Simon Peter, having faith, believing in ourselves and in Spirit. The keys that bind you either to the spiritual or the material. The spiritual is anything that you can't buy, like love, happiness, health and freedom. The throat is healing. You're able to speak your truth and shame the devil. 5 and 23, friendships and marriages. Simon Peter. Yeah, this is not your team. Red lights. Put the brakes on. Stop something. The foundations aren't strong enough. 3 years. Make the right choice for you. This could be somebody failing at university or studies. Maybe it's something that you need to change. A subject you need to change. It's not for you. 3 years. Make the right choice. 6 or 24, Adam, Eve, Lily, the Garden of Eden, the apple tree, the snake. This year is the year of the snake. The apple tree, we know, is protection. Stand up for yourself. Don't be a doormat. Think positive. Keep your mind clear. The power is in your hands. And there it is, the apple tree. That's what they want us to know. Doesn't matter what you've done in the past. You have to do the right thing now. And don't give up. We don't chop the apple tree down for firewood. When it's given us very few apples, we prune the branches so that we have a better crop next year. This is reaping what you sow. Don't be a Debbie Downer. Don't compare yourself to others. Comparison is not your friend, and life is not a race. So what you've done in the past, intentionally or unintentionally, you are reaping the rewards for now. Like say you was an avid smoker and now you've had throat cancer. It will be healed, but you paid the price up to now for what you've done in the past. The thing to do now is to decide what you do from now on. Are you going to carry on smoking, or are you going to leave it as it is? We'll see. 7 years, it says. The marriages, friendships, schools, teachers, children, school days. Like I said, Frankie and Sister Sledge. So sisters, Frankie was the boy that everybody swooned over, and when they meet up later on in years, they're famous and he's just a janitor. But say just because it's a very important job. So everybody's here for a reason. Yeah. These though are not your team, these are not your people, these are not your tribe. So that red light and red flags all over this, you need to find your tribe. They're narcissists. But those who see when they're shown, and those who will never see. The number 11 is negative, and injustice takes place. Libra energy. Somebody sitting on the fence and not wanting to make a decision. It's time to transform your energy. 13. Scorpio. It's the reproductive organs and shared resources, but above all, it's you coming out of your cocoon, your safe place. You've been in there as the caterpillar. You went in and you needed to grieve over something or heal over something, and now you can come out the other side like the glorious butterfly that you are. So Libra and Scorpio in there, might be in your chart, might be in the current chart, which I can't load up because this phone makes it impossible. There is unfinished business here. Again, universities, study, Diana, Artemis, the Hunter, lessons to be learned. If you act in haste, you repent at leisure. So hold fire. Good friends, generous ones, Taurus energy, again, neck and throat. This is finances improving, career improving, in not a very small way, but not a massive way either. Women in uniform, those of a darker complexion. Yeah, but Taurus energy of any gender. Now we have that Page of Cups again that we had, the narcissist, maybe growing up, maybe actually finally growing up and no longer being that way. Somebody loving themselves unconditionally, even if it's just in small ways. But being stuck, delayed travel, especially over water, 6 weeks. Being held back by the baggage of the past. Yeah, now it is in its own read, so today's card is important. You have to stay positive. The power is in your hands. You can make miracles take place. Your life is what you make of it. It could be someone or something new that enters your life that works with blades, disc cups or wood. Chefs, surgeons, hairdressers for the blades, you get the gist. But somebody here is not walking away. They're going to see this thing to the very end, the bitter end. 8 months. So it could be the conception of a child. Sagittarius is there, but it's not a positive energy, and it's minor. So 6 months. 6 months would take us to Sagittarius or Capricorn, I believe. Yeah, the door's not open to you yet. We're in process mode. We're creating something this year, so we can't accept or take an offer we want to take, or there's a rejection. Then an apology. Possibly this rejection comes from the narcissist who's not your people. Then comes an apology. Chiron, the wounded healer. First they heal themselves, then they come and try and heal you. A bit like the, is it 12 steps when there's an alcoholic, they have to go and make recompense for what they've done in the past. This is possibly someone in dark complexion, someone in uniform, Virgo energy. It's agriculture, Manchester, the bees. It's a gift coming your way, and a small improvement in finance and career. But we're putting things off until tomorrow, the 22. We've lost the key to the solution, or someone's heart, or new home, or car, whatever it is. So watch out for lost keys and a dog. 22. Richard. Something is coming between you and what you want. Heartache, sorrow, loss and separation. Perhaps that you've been grieving. Somebody of unsound mind. Confusion. Minor surgery, perhaps. Somebody's half in and half out already. We're at the crossroads. Definition of insanity. Doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. You do have enemies. No doubt about that. Gemini. Communications. Maybe your own worst enemy. You have to be open to accept something rather than trying to hang on to something or someone that doesn't serve you any longer. Yeah, because there are lies, deceit and theft here. Possibly a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, child or immature energy. Somebody, even if they're not that sign, show these traits. There could be a sportsman. They lie, they deceive, they thieve. And again, that causes delays or you're unable to move on because of the lies that they feed you. 6 weeks. Masks must come off. Masks are being worn. Somebody is not what they appear to be. So, yeah, Scorpio, 8th house. So there we are. It's also the North Node, I believe, and Leo. Got no mention of Leo except for the fire sign. Was it a fire sign? No, it wasn't. Just water sign. So no mention of Leo at all, and yet it's there. So possibly 21st of July to 21st of August, that period. But it is your North Node, so your true path in life. The North Node is the dragon's head, so the dragons, your life purpose, your destiny, your evolution, your latent potential, your choices, and the growth that brings. It's what must be done to fulfill your soul purpose. There's no getting away from it. It is unknown territory and not always a particularly comfortable place. The path is untravelled, which is the crossroads, and the beginning of the journey, the soul must inevitably fall back into the South Node, so revisiting something from the past. At such times, the soul must pick up the best from the past and take that into the future and leave the rest behind. So, in Leo, it is the path of the heart, and our heart has been broken or damaged in some way. The soul is learning to keep an open heart, to stay open, to be heart-centered in all that it does, and to be empowered from the heart. And then we have 8th house. Karmic evolution demands that the soul explores sex, birth, death, rebirth, and sharing resources with another, which is not well starred. Somebody here is not very good at that. Taurus, 14, Tony, Philip, there's the Taurus, 14. It is the Hierophant, so it's the same card, blessed 3 times, and there are 3 classes of people. Here we are. Those who see when they're shown, and those who will never see. Some people never see. And Leo is there, as in Leonardo da Vinci. So an artist, maybe, probably a piss artist if it's the narcissist. You are about to grow something from which there will be beauty and abundance. Taurus natives are ruled by Venus, the planet of loveliness and indulgence. They tend to be down to earth, but have a special eye for attractiveness, and always have a need for luxury. Practical matters rule first with Taurus, taking care of the home and all the comforts before they move on towards what they truly love. So you're chopping wood, you're drawing water, you're getting everything in order before you get to do what you want to do. As spiritual masters and teachers, which is what I said, they never completely stray away from what is real, what is solid, which is grounded, yet in their own way they can be dreamy. This is a sign of the gentle gardener. So someone in spirit may be in a garden, or you are doing the garden. Taurus people take their time with their feet firmly planted on the ground. They must be certain about everything before choosing what comes next. The world of Taurus is the world of the senses. Food, fabric, colour, skin, and very sumptuous they are. They are fond of lovely things and place great value on money. Most Taurians only believe what they can see or touch, yet many are gurus and are born under the sign of the bull. So that means they are spiritual too, but tend to be dismissive over subjects if they don't know much about it. They are conservative nature, so often must be convinced. They consider themselves realists. That said, Taurus is a sign that rules the fairy world, so contact with fairies and elementals is possible. And this card turns up in a reading. You may have fairy dreams or even build a fairy home or a garden. Sensing fairy presence is also possible. When this card comes up in a reading, money issues will have a bearing on this matter, whether obvious or not so obvious. Bank accounts, counting change, accumulating funds, any matters to do with finances come into play, especially joint finances. So somebody's lying here, so you have to check your bank accounts, check your accounts. If you're in business, something's going on. It is a fortunate time to ask for a loan, a raise in pay, or to buy into stock. It is also a good time to become involved in accounting or matters dealing with numbers and currency. The sign of Taurus symbolises the sensuous nature, sex, food and comfort. So a passionate lover may be on the horizon, and long fervent love-making sessions may be in store. You may connect with a paramour who wishes to take care of you, or vice versa. The desire for comfort and relaxation will be part of this relationship. This card indicates talents in the arts, especially singing and music. Taurus shares rulership with Leo over the stage. There you go, Leo. So matters involving plays, musical theatre, concerts, and those that are traditional, like we had a Vita day before yesterday, such as ballet or classical music, may have a meaning now. The Taurus card corresponds to the Hierophant in the tarot deck. So it indicates tradition and not so much being brash, controversial or eccentric. Taurus, of course, is bullish, and you may encounter a few stubborn or obstinate individuals. Anything offbeat will not serve you at this time. Whatever you do now will need to take on a practical or conservative turn. The Taurus card turns up in a spread is always positive. It's highly stable and supportive. In general, Taurus is steady and reliable, hardly ever gets upset. One can not rile a sensuous bull too easily, but woe betide you if you do, because the explosive revolts will be unforgettable. More than anything else, the Taurus card suggests dealing with finance, capital investment, what is bought, what is earned, This card stands for your possessions. It's a good time to build on what you have, and it is also an excellent time to invest in real estate or property. I disagree because we've got the Three of Pentacles there. Not with this team, not in this fashion. Something here is wrong. So, materialism is a big thing. The rune, Othala, Wednesday. Wednesday, my birthday, I think. Inherited property, possessions, a house, a home, what is truly important to you. Group order, group prosperity. A house is not a home without a fire in the hearth, food on the table, and a welcome at the door. So, Othala. Is the 23rd rune, which is 5023, the Hierophant. Well done, Spirit. Rulership, nobility, and loyalty. But it goes both ways. So, a ruler should be loyal to its subjects. The crown. Ethel. Epaulets. Epil is dear to all men. If they may enjoy their at home whatever is right and proper, in continual prosperity, so do the right and proper thing. The letter O. The oldest literal meaning of this rune is nobility or prince. So we have Prince William, Prince Harry, Prince George, Prince Louis. Those names could be very important. Who is your prince? It may be that you liked the artist Prince. The athlete, meaning the heir to the throne. Your heir, maybe. Adele, the Dutch Edel, are both divined from Othila, and both of these have connotations with aristocracy. The rune therefore points to the rightful claim to inherited status, lands and possessions. It also indicates noblesse oblige, the obligation of one's position in society and the duties that one owes to one's kin and people. Of course, there is also the added implication of loyalty that people owe to their monarch. Othila is symbolised by the hawthorn tree, which is Aries, and the humble clover, which is good luck. But its most important symbolic association is with Odin, the king of the gods of Asgard. It provides the initial letter of Odin's name and considered especially sacred to him. Although Othila denotes nobility and even kingship, it also a rune of sacrifice. After all, what modern monarch or head of state could possibly lead a normal life? The very position implies a sacrifice of personal freedom, and in many cases throughout history it has been necessary for leaders eventually to sacrifice their lives. So it was with Odin, who hung himself upon a windy tree to win the knowledge of the runes from the good of all, gods and humankind alike. Until recent times a king was thought of as representing the luck of his subjects. If he thrived, then so did the land. England suffering. If he ailed, it was believed that the land and people would suffer. At least modern monarchs do not have to worry about being sacrificed if their powers wane, as was the case in ancient Europe. It is in the upright, so it represents a time where hallowed traditions will become increasingly important. The rune suggests something that stands the test of time, a set of values that is fixed, immovable, and strangely comforting. The one solid thing in your life. In addition, the true meaning of loyalty is the most common interpretation of Othila. The loyalty can be expressed in any number of ways: patriotism, devotion to a particular religion, or identification, like Catholicism, with a group whose aims you share. However, group loyalty is most common with those who share heritage, name, and family. The rune may signify the rightful inheritance, but this need not necessarily mean a bequest of property or money, although they may not be unlikely. It could denote traits that have come down through the generations that express a certain correctness of behaviour and a sense of belonging. Justice and honour are also associated with this, and we've got an injustice that needs to be put right. Because of the dynastic implications of Othila, engagements and marriages can be denoted. Issues involving children or eventual heirs, yes, will turn out favourably. You may find yourself dealing with wills and property and may need advice from an older, wiser head. to chart a course through the paperwork. So somebody may be trying to steal from you an inheritance. An advantageous move of home could be indicated, but not yet, because you're waiting for this injustice to be righted. Especially if it somehow brings you closer to your origins, so where you was brought up. And then we have number 15, the lavender. Supposedly gets rid of headaches, but for me it causes it. So lavender, 15, which in the tarot is not a very nice card, but in this it seems to bring peace. So Lavandula augustifolia, Mercury and Jupiter, abundance and communication. So a letter may be coming your way about an inheritance. It is an air energy. Lavender is the herb in both magic and herbalism for calming the mind and getting clarity, which is what we need today. It does not quite quicken the mind, but brings peace, perspective and fortitude to the mind of long-term projects. Because of its clarifying and uplifting nature, it has been used in both herbal floral washes for clearing as well as purifying blends of herbs to be burned in bundles and mixed with incense. Today, lavender's magic is used in many scented products as a cure for stress and sleepless nights, and is thereby used in sleep and dream magic. Lavender can be used in love magic with association of both chastity and fertility, helping us have clarity and patience in relationships. Lavender also a classic herb of fairy magic, used to call, perceive and commune with the fae. So if you can't sleep and you need to speak to the ancestors, lavender oil in your bath or something, or incense oils, or sleep with it in a little bag in your pillow. Just as it is in magic, lavender as a spiritual force brings calmness, civility and perspective in any situation, creates a tranquil pause, allowing you to gather your strength, your thoughts and your resources. On a deeper level, lavender helps us see a greater spiritual perspective through profound peace. This spirit medicine is great aid to dealing with nervous tension, exhaustion and anxiety, and helps us meditate and regain strength through sleep. The bees love lavender. The bees, Chiron, healing thyself for its pollen, but their affinity also indicates an ability to go about many tasks and chores, but to do so with deep peace and joy in the process of life. Energetically, it helps us centre and process our tensions with the overall sense of knowing things will work out for the highest good. This too shall pass. Lavender tells us that we need to pause, stay calm and centre ourselves for the tasks ahead. To approach it with a clear mind, a tranquil heart. Lavender dwells here between the rising and the setting sun, the moment between where all is balanced. We may feel we are working day and night, but use the cycle of work and rest to restore balance in your life. Lavender keeps company with the industrious bee, but the bee wholeheartedly enjoys its work and knows when it is time to return to the hive to rest and sleep. Be calm, be centered, and be peaceful. Love and light, everybody. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.